If you disabuse yourself of hate, then you would know that African sexuality has always been diverse. What the global village has done through the internet is simply to unveil this for us. You don't want to miss the interesting conversations on Demystifying the African Sexuality podcast. The DAS podcast. Yo, I can hear myself on this speaker. I had that chimanyi. You can hear that demo going. Alright. You started, huh? Welcome to part 3 of our podcast, and yes, I'm still with Sunny and Guy over here for the DAS podcast episode 3. My name is Black Paper, so yeah, ride with us. So I need to find out from you. We started this. We've been having all these beautiful things to say about gay tax. The conversation is still rolling, and you've all said some quite insightful things about it. But do you think there are specific factors or societal pressures that contribute to the development of this phenomenon within the LGBT community? The phenomenon of gay tax, obviously, KUCHU tax. What are some of those factors or societal pressures that contribute to the development of this phenomenon?
First of all, the biggest reason as to why we are even discussing this is because there are inequalities, naturally in this world. We are not equal, even if we want to be equal. So these inequalities really manifest in different ways, and for these purposes of this conversation, that's like the major reason as to why this kind of tax is happening, and also like really the imbalances that we have, especially financially and also emotionally, in comparison to the straight people. There's some things that they really do not go through or even understand, even if we explain. I could, for instance, talk about how people expect me to be a certain type of way, and then when I'm not the type of way, there's the expectation that I have to compensate for not being what we thought you should be, or we consider a true black man should look like. It also just waters down pretty much to how different we are, and this is just the reason as to why this happens. But like for us as a society, age is a serious factor, so that also plays a big role in creating.
I would like to bring it down to the culture on the ground. Culturally, as women, we are expected to do certain things and not do other things. So as a queer black woman, that is like if you're talking to somebody and they have a scale of what is wrong with you, they will go with black, your race, then you a woman, come on, then you're queer. It is disintegrated in ways that our culture already undermined the women. Our culture already makes women a certain way. There are certain things we're expected to do. I'm not expected to be in office and making noise instead of being home and taking care of my kids. There is a lot of expectation for women. Guy earlier mentioned inequality, and we've been fighting for that. But as a queer woman, I'll be saying I want equity, not just equality, because equality means that you're going to present me the same opportunities with you, and the things that you are capable of doing that I am not capable of doing. Which brings us back to the feminist issue, where people think because now I'm gonna say I'm a feminist, and then they're like, okay, then I'll carry all those things. No, I did not say that being a feminist I want to do what you can do. I want to be given an opportunity to learn and be able to do what you can do. You get it? So it's already imbalanced. So when you add the queer entity, it comes like a shocker to everyone, and which is very, very unnatural, because us growing up, I grew up from a small town in Imbara. Growing up, we had those people. We had asexuals, kuchalo, ngabagambo you are important, but the way they want to term them in their own way, the ones they're comfortable with. If somebody is asexual, or you are accepted by community before. But now that they're on a spectrum, a bigger spectrum, LGBTQ plus, it is now, ew, what's that about? But we had those people before. We had people who would get married and divorce and stay with their best friends forever. Like every family has that one uncle who's always with his best friend. Every family has that one auntie who has stayed with the same roommate since they went to Kampala. So it's not about the question of is it accepted or not, or was it there or not. It's now about the way we talk about things and about the way we term them. Actually, when you look at it, you see that the existence of the tax actually even affects family and how we interact with each other, because if when we get segregated, then we isolate ourselves. So you find that some family members that the younger generation doesn't know about because they isolated themselves. However, that does not mean that everybody who stays with a friend or is more comfortable staying with the same-sex friend is in an LGBTQI relationship. Some of them are, this is the comfort zone, they prefer single lives and they prefer to live with friends, with the bills and the economy and everything, you understand? Yeah.
Guy, what do you have to say about that?
It's one of those things that are like a necessary evil. That's the way I see it. Like, at some point there are advantages to it, especially if you're on the receiving end of the tax. But if you are not, and you're on the other side, and you have all these expectations expected from you most likely will end up abandoning yourself, and giving yourself over and over and over to people. And sometimes human design probably will say, oh, that's how you are, that's who you are. But one of those things where you can't do without it because it's existing and it's complex. And okay, yes, you might survive the KUCHU tax, but then you're not going to survive the black tax that your parent will still call you and be like, oh, why? Oh man, agenda COVID dinner sente. And then they expect you to look for it, because I had a friend who literally, I knew he had no job, he didn't exactly finish school, he fumbled it somehow, but their parents would call and ask him for money, for VD, for picking the kids from school, for or contribution to fees, things like that. And at some point I realized he was just paying both, taxes, but at different times, because there are times his family was aware. So how they call you to make you be the mediator between your parents, because your parents had a fight. Now he has to be the guy because he's neutral, he has some kamane, or he knows some people, and like literally your parent, it's crazy if your parent calls you and tells you China bantu bosolo cooler you get like, yeah, so basically that's it.
Yeah, so we are all on common ground when it comes to the fact that family a lot of times contributes to this phenomenon of the gay tax or the KUCHU tax. In other words, for us to feel accepted and welcome in our families, we have to pay it. Yeah, now what I need to find out from you is what would happen if this tax is not paid. Is there a defined end to it, and does it end when one's sexuality gets to be known or comes out?
I don't think so. You come out, actually, then you pay more, because now you're gay, you're rich. It's like it comes with money. And there is this stereotype that being queer, then you're getting free money from abroad. We don't know which abroad people are talking about, because being queer is personal. It's a personal journey. No one is going to pay you to be yourself, and it is expected actually when you come out, and now they know you have the money. Automatically the money comes with the coming out.
More money, more problems.
And of course also the tax, like I agree with Guy, where Guy said it is a necessary evil. It has actually helped us improve ourselves, even on internal journeys, even economically. Like, we work harder, people think we have money because we don't have responsibilities or because we're getting free money, but we are actually working harder. When everybody has pushed you out, when everybody doesn't want you, then you, at a point as a human being, you find a way to make yourself better. You find a way to work on yourself and harder, and then now you're saving because you have no one calling you to ask you for the money. Now you're saving, now you're growing yourself, and then people are like, twabagamba bamuwa sente zoweded. Because if people do not start separating SW with the LGBTQ community, then it's going to be a problem. People who get paid for sex work, that is sex work. But being an LGBTQI person, you can be both. But being one doesn't mean that anybody's going to pay you to be who you are. Anyways.
Yeah. What do you have to say about what would happen if this tax is not paid?
Nothing at all. Nothing would happen. Because, okay, yes, you blackmail me or try, but if I don't want to, I don't want to. And I actually don't. Because, you eventually have to choose who you want to support, and that just waters down to how you understand yourself. Because at some point you have to know that enough is enough. I don't have to pay for this, that, and that, and that. Even when you feel, because if I don't have a job, it doesn't matter how many times you're going to call me to give you 100k for my brother to go to school and I don't have it, you get it. I will not give you that money. I
would like to disagree with you at some point, because even if you're not paying the money in cash to the family, that tax in cash, you're going to pay it with the way you're treating yourself around the neighbors, because now you're unemployed, so you get it. Somehow you will pay that tax. Somehow it is. You can never skip it.
But still, like I said, I still believe nothing will happen to you if you don't pay the tax.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So striving to be the best seems to be a good virtue, one would think. However, our discussion this far indicates that the motivation behind the desire to be the best is the problem. Why does one draw the line? And I want to be the best at what I do, but I don't want to come off as overcompensating. Why does one draw this line of, I need to do this, I need to make myself, upright, I need to pay the tax, I need to do this for them? Why?
This is a question that you've asked a wrong person, because I believe that line, you draw it in the bathroom at your office crying because nothing is enough, but you feel like I'm not doing enough. Oh, am I overdoing it? Do they feel like I'm trying to take the job of a person above me? Am I not doing it? It's a conflict that goes on and on and on, and it's a circle of conflict. It never stops. And sometimes you just take a break, and all you can do is take a break once in a while.
Personally, I do things that I like to do, and I don't care if someone says, oh, you're doing too much. I'll still do what I want to do. And a lot of times I've had people say statements of, oh, a jack of all trades, master of nothing, and stuff like that. But for me, it's because I want to do it, so I'm not even compensating for anything. I'm here to experience life, and people believe that life has to be experienced in this way, in that way, in that, but for me, no. I believe you have to experience life, and if something happens and you change your mind and you decide to do this and then do the other, keep on going.
Yeah. All right. That has been part 3 of our episode. Wait up for part 4. You don't want to miss the interesting conversations on Demystifying the African Sexuality podcast. The DAS Podcast.